Presentable before we actually go live, so I can't look presentable anymore. Hey everybody, Jeff and Matt here from Canadian Brick Builders, Canadian adjacent brick builder below us. Both of us returning from Bricks in the Six bits. Matt literally just got home a few hours ago.
Yeah,
I've been home for 2 days.
We got here at 6, but then I went to the doctor's office and the pharmacy for 2 hours. So I've only been in my house for the last like hour and a half. So yeah.
Well, you're a trooper for joining us then.
Well, I'm sure all of our fans are waiting with bated breath to hear about Bricks in the Six.
So should we tell them right away? It was horrible. No, just joking. It was great. I don't know. What were your thoughts? Since might as well start there. Your first Canadian con, I believe.
First of all, the gift parts pack for attendees is fantastic.
Yeah.
But my gorilla has two right arms.
Really?
Well, maybe there's another left arm, but I definitely have two.
Did you dump 2 bags?
No, I only have 1 bag.
Uh-oh. Yeah, because the left arm is curved because he's holding a banana or can pick up a banana or something.
Maybe it's still in here, but it's okay. Anyway, sorry. I'm a little disheveled.
I was going to say, I think the right arm was the one that was kept on going out of stock on Bricks and Pieces. So, but hopefully you find it in the next few.
Oh, you know what? I'm just like sick because I have both arms, I guess.
Oh, okay. But you have an extra other arm?
No, that's all the arms I had.
Okay. You just weren't really okay.
I thought I had 2 of the same arm, so that was my error. What did I think? Well, I could talk about like mechanics and stuff. I would say the display room felt bigger than Bricks Rodeo to me.
Okay.
And Bricks Rodeo had a similar situation where they were using like a hotel conference room, but not everything would fit in the conference room.
Yeah.
And so they had to kind of utilize some floor space adjacent to the conference room and such and such. It felt like Bricks in the Six had more total display floor space. I would say there were more big displays than I would have expected at a convention with of that size, meaning the number of exhibitors. So like your layout was big. Cowdice's layout was big.
Yeah.
There was a huge airplane layout. There was a huge.
There's 2 airplane layouts.
2 airplane layouts. So there's some really big layouts for a convention with I think roughly 130 exhibitors.
250. Oh, Brick Rodeo or bits? Because Bricks in the Six was 257. I think I heard.
Oh, was it that big? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would almost say it's outgrown its space almost already.
The biggest difference is, or one of the most notable differences, is that you folks have the brick built sculptures that are outside as people are waiting to come in. And I really think that's a great idea for like parents who have impatient kids. They just want to get in there and they can like stop and get pictures with the gives the crowd something to do while they're waiting their turn to get in the rooms.
Sorry, one of us is lagging, and I think it might be you, but it might be me. Hopefully I'm not lagging. Sorry?
You're fine to me. So let me exit and come back in.
All right, sure. The sculptures Matt's talking about were provided by Lego Canada. They came in the last few days, responding to Graham, and supplied some sets, some poly bags for us as giveaways for the kids and for our loot bags, as well as they also supplied, like I said, the sculptures and stuff. So everybody that attended Bricks in the Six basically got something like kid-wise and adult-wise. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. Excuse me. I'm still not 100% right in the brain. Wait, have I ever been 100% right in the brain? That might be a different story. Um, More just still catching up. I'm still tired. I'm able to walk though, which I wasn't able to do in the past few days. Well, Monday I was pretty pretty sore, but I have come back to life, thankfully. So yeah, you seem better now.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I was saying I don't know if you caught that. I was saying the sculptures were actually brought in by Lego Canada. Um,
But it's still a nice thing,
oh
even.
yeah, for sure. And then they had also big sculptures. The Ottawa group, Parliament, they brought in big classic space figures. I still haven't found that calendar. I've got it somewhere upstairs. They did a yearly calendar. They created a calendar with using the big classic space brick built characters that they had all over Ottawa, and they made a calendar for it to raise some funds. Um, but in the front lobby, they had those guys out as well, and they were doing photo opportunities with people. So that was a big hit. And yeah, you're right. There were definitely a lot of large scale mocks there. The Ottawa group also had brought a bunch of historical buildings that they'd built in Lego in larger scales, as well as mosaics from KLUG, the Quebec group. They brought some large mosaics. And part of that reason why all that stuff appeared was just because they both groups had gotten project support to build those items. And they have to display them somewhere, or they have to use what they get and prove that they've used it at some point within a year period, or I don't know what the time frame is. And this was the first event that was in the books until next August in Canada. So I think that was a reason why there were some larger mocks as well, like from those
Okay.
types of points of view, because they needed to get them into public displays. And I mean, that could mean next year their space might not be as much of an issue because some of those items will not be there again. Um, so I don't know. I mean, hats off to Callum, our the guy who was planning the whole room layouts, who probably went through numerous iterations as time went on, and also handling like last minute requests and things like that. Yeah.
The another small thing that totally surprised me was when we did the parts draft, they actually had little Ziploc bags that we bagged up into baggies every part, so that when you picked it, you didn't have to sort them when you got home. They were already in a baggie, which was
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's technically, well, I won't say unnecessary, but
it's
not necessarily necessary. To answer the question that you had just before the stream chat, we did get a loot llama or supply llama, and that was, and I just found it while we were talking. That was it is an official set. It's a make and take event set.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if this came from Lego Canada or I know Graham and Brick and Nick is local to Toronto, and he does a lot of Fortnite stuff. And I know Graham has helped out, and Brooks O'Brien was also there. So I know they did some Fortnite stuff, so they might have gotten that through those channels.
The Lego Canada thing would seem, pretty highly likely.
Yeah. The only thing I would say to that is that the Lego Canada thing, they brought us like a bunch of stuff that was really old.
Oh, okay.
Other than the Dreams pencil, which we already had from previous year, so I think that was a last year donation because we had cases of those too. So yes, baby space without the logo, unlogoed baby space.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. And so yeah, the loot bag. Actually, you know what? Let me pull up an image of that because I already have it here somewhere.
Some people already have gotten home and sorted theirs.
I didn't. Well, okay, sorting, yes, technically. Let me just find the picture. I did what you're doing right now. I put it on a tray and kind of sorted it out, but just to see what there was. But so I just wanted. Well, there was the ape. Oh wait, let's full screen this thing. I have actually sorted into the bins that are behind me already, because I'm starting my big sort for the year as well. Gargoyles. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but there's a couple of gargoyles in the bag.
I've heard that they're in there. I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, they're small but adorable. There's a beaver and a raccoon. Nothing says Canada like that. A pink, an orange air tank.
Yes.
Plus, I'm trying to find the other part here.
I got my beaver. There's my beaver.
I don't see it here. We also got a dark blue. Oh, there it is. It's in with the ape. We also got a dark blue pair of pants and a dark blue helmet. Um, yeah, and those are to go with the classic space logo torso that was in the bricks and pieces, or in the store inventories for bricks and pieces for the last, I guess, the last round of new build a minifig parts. There was rumor. I don't know if this is true or not, but Graham was also saying that he didn't get a chance. Like he had ordered that part as well, but he didn't get them in time, or he didn't get them, or they were rejected. So, and that's why, like, there's some of these parts are not even like, if I scroll across again, you see the arms from the Wicked sets, which haven't technically, well, which have just been released, but he's already had them. He's a Lego certified professional, so he's able to get some of these parts even before Bricks and Pieces has them, I guess.
I guess.
Like we got the 3PO head pieces, those new curves. Trying to think, there's another one that I saw just today when I was looking at parts reviews. The water, what do you call it? The scuba piece, scuba mask. No, it's not a scuba mask. Oh, this piece here just came out in a set in the past 2 weeks. It was like reviewed. Yeah, that guy. We've got it on the screen too. But and some black hockey sticks and just some other fun stuff. Lots of the new orange, reddish orange parts. So yeah, all in all, amazing little selection of parts. Graham specifically looks for stuff that's new to put into the bags, and he definitely did a good job.
Yes. Oh, I found my gargoyle. Yay.
Yay. Yeah, and also some trans black, the bricks in trans black as well, which is nice, and a couple of 1x1 plates.
I don't know. Right now, these maxi fig hands are slightly disturbing to me, but I guess.
Yeah, I hear you there. I'm trying to change the view again. There we go. So yeah, we'll get back to that in a few minutes. But yeah, it was hey Jeff, welcome. Unfortunately, Jeff wasn't able to join us. Wow, the font looks different, or the layout looks different on that. That looks different. Anyway, Jeff wasn't able to join us. We had maybe 5 or 6, maybe a few more Canadian brick builders there. People that have been on the show. Jason Alleman was there. JK Brickworks. Graham, he's been on the show before as well. Sean McLeod, who had joined us recently on the show. Obviously, Matt and I. Etienne was there as well. I'm trying to think who else. There was a few others, I thought. Dushko was there. Actually, I forgot to give him a brick. Darn. My sister was there, and my brother, which, that was an interesting experience for most people. For me, it was embarrassing, but for everybody else, it was interesting.
Your sister is very nice and gave us Tim Horton reusable hot cups.
Okay.
And some tea so that we could have hot tea on our way home, which was very thoughtful.
Yeah. Except, well, I mean, obviously when you stopped on your way home, not while you were driving. You can't make hot tea in the car.
No, but most places we stay have either a stove top or a microwave.
Yep. So. Yep. That's good. So cool. And yeah, everybody's seeing my brother for the first time, and I have barely any hair on my face because my brother is a bearded man who's got a ponytail and he's a truck driver. So I have to balance it out by not having those. So thank you to Matt as well for bringing me a friend who has an Indigo headband. That was one of the things that some of the earlier people that got there got. So he will go well with my other 4. I haven't put it up yet, but yeah, he brought a couple of those in, and David and I scored on that one. All right, so okay, we're talking about the parts, the venue, the show as a whole. What did you think? How does it compare to other shows you've been to?
It's sometimes a little bit hard to disentangle your own experience from the show. So for
Yeah.
myself, I would say I spent less time talking to fans than I have in prior shows,
Okay.
partly because I wasn't feeling great by the time people started
Fair
rolling
enough.
on a Saturday and Sunday. But when I did go down, I ended up talking to a lot of other exhibitors and a lot of other exhibitors. And I had like nice chunk sized chats with quite a few people. And one of my complaints the last time I went to Brick World Chicago 2 summers ago was I felt like I was constantly being pulled in this direction, that direction. And I left thinking, well, I never even got to talk to this person who I wanted to talk to. And I never got to talk to this person or this person, this person. And I
Yeah.
just felt like I got to connect with a lot of other builders, and
Yeah.
some of whom are super skilled, like, Zach Steinman, who I've definitely fanboyed at because I was just such a like in awe of his work. And then and I'm terrible with names, so a woman who's older than me, who this was her first Lego convention. She's in Toro Lug,
Okay.
and her stuff was over near my painted ladies on the floor, and I just went over and just sitting there. She's sitting on the chairs kind of opposite, and we ended up chatting for about half an hour about developing as builders and process. And then I went out in the hallway and somebody else came up and started chatting with me, whose name I also can't remember right now, but I could see their face. I felt like a lot of nice extended chats with people, which
Awesome.
I don't know, I appreciate the fan feedback, but I also just really like interacting with my fellow builders. And so for me personally, I very much enjoyed that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now I found I didn't take a lot of pictures. I have a few, but there is a Bricks in the Six photo dump that they created, like a Google photo thing, so I can scroll through. We can scroll through some of that as well. I don't know how many photos are actually in here. 27. Oh, it's actually asking me to add photos, which I can
I
do
will
later.
say I also liked how they did it so that the fans came in 3 4 hour blocks. So
Yeah.
they got in, they kind of moved around, they saw what they wanted to see, and then they kind of nicely shooed them out, and so the next group could come in.
Yeah,
But
and we
that
had a nice
worked.
hour in between for a break, which was great.
Yeah, I thought that worked pretty good. I think that's something that other conventions. So I would say I would give Bricks in the Six above average marks for like fan management. Um, Slightly below average marks for clarity as to where things were.
Yeah.
And that, as we talked before, part of that was, health injuries to critical organizing staff people.
Yes.
Um,
Graham, in summary, Graham broke his hip his
but
femur three
I
weeks
also got
before.
the impression from Graham that Graham doesn't think being super organized is all that important. So I don't know how different it's been in years for
So
you.
last year it wasn't this bad. It wasn't that bad. So this
Okay.
year there was a lot of okay. This is happening in this room in the next hour, and then 5 minutes later, oh, sorry, wrong schedule. This one's happening in this room in this time. So I think what happened, and this is my speculation, was that Graham needed help in the last 3 weeks because he broke his femur,
Right.
and as a result, he was like someone else had started working on a schedule or they had modified the schedule. I know there was also a lot of, hey, is it possible to move this type chat in our Discord channel? And Graham's like, yeah, we can probably arrange that. So it could have even been that the program schedule didn't get updated, but the online schedule did. So I like there was just some weirdness there, and yes, it probably would get fixed in the future or be more of a focus in the future.
I mean,
Um,
it didn't, mean it wasn't a good show, but
yeah,
um, sometimes it was a little fraught. Like I was trying to go find the Lego ambassadors meeting, and
hmm
I wasn't sure which room it was in. I just didn't want to be late and stuff, but
yeah.
I didn't end up missing anything I wanted to go to, so it all worked out. I'm just not used to that, so I was kind of like, "What? We don't know where that is." Oh,
Yeah, I can understand. Jeff, I saw, yeah, um, Seymour photos posted about on the web by Saturday afternoon, but I had a hard time finding them. Um, yeah, I'm not sure where a lot of the photos were being dumped. But like I said, I've got a photo dump here from the Torlug, or from the Brick Bix and the Six photo album type thing. So we can share that at least and give you some to look at. And
Yep.
train layout. So the train room, like the hotel has rooms all over the place. They had a basement area, and there was a room in the back of the basement. That was literally it wasn't a dungeon. It was actually a very nice room, but it was like hidden away at the very back of the thing room, and I don't know that a lot of people got in there. But yeah, the train layouts were in there. There's about 6 or 7 train layouts. I walked through quickly and looked at a few things, but honestly, I mean, I didn't spend as much time as I wanted to walking around the rooms, just because walking was kind of interesting because I had sore legs. So, but why don't we jump into these pictures? So some of these, this is basically from anybody who was at Bricks in the Six, and had access to the Discord channel. Let me see if I can full screen this beast. Slideshow. Well, that works. So this is just the view one morning. You can almost see the CN Tower there. Oh, apparently slideshow is automatic. Okay, well. So just before we moved in, here's the hall type stuff. Shipments coming in from Lego Canada. So this gentleman made an appearance at the last Brick Fest, I believe, and he still had the same dust on his head at the last Brick Fest that he did now. In fact, he had more dust on his head. But so again, Lego Canada brought in some sculptures. They also brought in skids of product, poly bags and stuff for us to deal with. In the picture here, Sam and Nina from Lego Masters Season 4. Season 4? Yeah, Season 4. Sam was there last year. He brought his mom, Nina, as well this year. Last year was pre-Lego Masters Season 4, so we actually got to talk to him this time about it and stuff. A reception desk, Nina, and I can't think her name. Don't remember what her name was, but one of the helpers out, the volunteers. Bricks in the Six bags. I helped pack some of these when I got there. Then there was Simon and Dave sitting out here on Dave's blocks. I think I'm out here in the distance. Yeah, no, is that me? That's not me. I don't think that's me. It's hard to tell. I wasn't wearing a sweater, so that's definitely not me. But this is where my castle ended up being, in this area. Graham had brought crap tons of Duplo brick. They were working on a Bricks in the Six logo. Simon and Dave hanging out on Dave's cases, which was really awesome because they're fun to sit on because they're just flat. A few of the other people in the lobby, Sam again. Unfortunately, I'm horrible with names too, so I don't know half of these people's names. So I can tell I'm just starting to load in because I'm seeing some tables here. Random people in the halls. These guys helped put out all the mock cards, or helped get all the mock cards ready. The hall's starting to fill in. Graham in a wheelchair. He had gotten himself an electric wheelchair for the weekend. So we were calling him Professor G for the whole weekend. I wanted to shave his head just so he'd be more like Professor X. But he didn't seem to want to do that.
Should have just grabbed his wheels, and then you could have had him captive.
Yeah, this is true. These photos are in no order, by the way, as well. Sean had this activity where you take Lego dots and tiles, put them on a plate, and stamp with them onto a piece of paper, so you can make kind of like Lego art. Case in point, which is kind of interesting. One of Sean's mocks. Sean's mock is, this was his main mock, which was absolutely amazing because from far away it looked like a Lego bag and a 10497 set.
Yep.
And as you got closer, you suddenly realized, wait a moment, that's actually a brick built thing. And he even got the back of the box, had all the exact same stuff on the back that the actual box did. It was absolutely amazing. This gentleman wrote a book, and he he had a session where he was reading it. I don't really know much about it because I wasn't in the session. Hey, Action Plate, welcome. We're just reviewing Bricks in the Six. Again, I don't know how many photos there are, and we might stop doing this after a while because there's a lot of news too as well.
I would actually recommend you consider just kicking news to next week. I don't know.
Well, that means we have 3 weeks of news.
It'll be an extravaganza.
It would be. No talking, just like let's get into the news.
No, Dave and I will just eat Doritos in the background, and you can just.
Fair enough. Graham doing a tour of some of the mocks. There were tractors there. I got pictures of tractors. I thought that was awesome because there weren't a lot of helicopters, which was interesting. But
Because we were missing a certain French Canadian friend of ours.
I agree. Well, there were some helicopters, just not a lot. Mitch from one of our old groups, now Toralug, I guess he's part of, but he was in one of the Wackala group that used to exist in Southern Ontario. He's a Bionicle builder, but he builds some amazing stuff to this day. There's a lot of Bionicle there, a lot of space related sets as well, or stuff as well. Did you ever catch this guy's name?
I think I may have taken a picture of
his mock
card.
Okay. He built the Museum of Nature, I think it was, in Ottawa, and it took him like 3 days to set up.
I could be wrong, but I was under the impression that was actually like a lug project. But
it was. So
okay,
lug support sponsor, but the entire lug built different buildings. And
okay.
He did.
Oh, got it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why there was they had large orders for a bunch of parts.
Now that curvy roof there.
Yeah.
That's a cajillion 1x2 rounded.
Yeah.
Jumper, with the open stud tops, and I was like, my thumbs hurt just thinking about putting all those together.
Yeah, I concur with that. It was definitely a work of art. Julie with some of the ships she built. There was a heavyweight belt for a WCW Worldwide Heavyweight belt. Some of the crew handing out the paint can. Oh, Zach Steinman. Zach. Yeah, Steinman. Did I get his name right?
That's right.
Yeah. So he's quite famous and fairly new on Instagram, only around for the last couple of years. Bruno. Thank you, Jeff. That was Bruno who built the Museum of Civilization. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the note. Anyway, Zach Steinman is famous or fairly popular on Instagram for his cube designs and stuff. And Jack Steinman? No, Jack Steinman.
Zachary.
Zachary what?
Steinman.
Yeah, okay. I'm having a day, okay? Anyway, so some of the stuff, here we go. Zachary Steinman. I could have just gotten to the next picture. And he's actually from the East Coast of Canada.
Nova Scotia.
East Coast of Canada. I thought it was West Coast. That's what threw me off. So I didn't realize he was Canadian, but pretty cool to know. There's another amazing Canadian builder. Wait, there's a Canadian builder. There's another. I know you know.
So, I made a point. He was one of the. Every time I saw him, like he was kind of busy and stuff. So I waited till Sunday, and then I waited till the break between the two sessions, and I had already left one of my tokens on his stuff. And I just said, I've seen all your stuff on Instagram. I just want to say, like, how much I enjoy it. And he said, I totally got out of Lego as a kid, sold all my bricks. And he said, I got back into it during, in Canada, entered lockdown for COVID. And he said, he's like, I just put one thing in front of the other, and I've just been having a lot of fun. And he's like, I appreciate the comments on Instagram, but I didn't think a whole lot about it. There's a lot of talented people out there. He said he got a call from Lego House, and he wasn't even sure what it was. He's like, they're like, hey, do you want to display your stuff? And he's like Googling it, trying to figure out, like, is this legit?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay, sure, I'll bring my stuff. And he seemed a little I wouldn't say starstruck, but just like, wow, this is like really taken off in a way that he didn't anticipate, in terms of like him kind of becoming a celebrity in the builder world. So he's super down to earth guy. he said normally he has a padded suitcase that he puts a smaller collection, but
Yeah.
because they have family, his spouse, his whole family came to Toronto. They drove from Nova Scotia, which I'm pretty sure I saw his car because I saw one Nova Scotia plate in the parking lot. So I'm guessing that was his.
Yeah.
He's like, I brought, pretty much all the stuff that I've, shown online. So I felt lucky in that, the one time I go up for a show in Canada, I get to see pretty much all of his latest work.
Yeah. 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 It looked like you brought everything, or a lot of everything.
Yeah.
So, as you're talking, I'm just scrolling through more pictures. There was a picture of a doghouse built out of the green Duplo. The hotel had a rescue dog, I think it was, on site, and one of the people that worked there owned the dog, and the dog kind of hangs out in the hotel during the days with them. And so the tour crew, or the group of people, built a doghouse for him, which was kind of cool. So some Canadian landmarks. Um, just kind of scrolling through. They also had a make your own bracelet for make your own Swifty bracelet. Nice. Taylor
Oh,
Swift,
is
because
that
Taylor
what
Swift was in town.
that was a great idea.
What, the bracelets?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really into that scene, but it just, it connects to a local event that's happening. It drew a lot of attention.
They also gave Graham a trophy, the hippiest planning guy, when basically a femur, which also kind of flopped over because it was a broken one, which is kind of funny. So yeah, I'm just scrolling through some of the pictures. This is where Graham was able to hobble around, which was interesting. This was opening ceremonies, I believe. Oh, and here's the femur and the broken femur, and Sean McLeod, who was one of the volunteers, one of the head volunteers, shall we say. There was a beer draft, and everybody enjoying the beers afterwards. Is this? Oh yeah, there's Dirty Brickster, the $25 Dirty Brickster based on the layout of the room, and so on and so forth. Lots of mocks. There's the doghouse. Oh, they moved the doghouse as well. Oh, cool. They used a tablecloth to move the doghouse. I was wondering how they moved that into a different part of the room, and set it up right beside the classic space figures. So yeah, I'm not going to go through this whole thing just because it's a lot. Air Force Base. This was built by one of the K-Luggers who also had built Louisville, the Big Fortress. I think it's Louisville. And they retired it last year, so he switched over to building a military base, which was awesome. Jason Allman was there as well, as we mentioned earlier. He brought his never-ending domino machine.
He was directly across from the mosaic. And this is one case where I'm glad that this wasn't my first show, because he was drawing a crowd. I mean, people were just mesmerized by the motion. And if it had been the first time I'd shown the mosaic, I might have been a little hurt that nobody was looking my direction and everybody's looking at stuff. It's my sixth show with it. So I was like, hey, I'm happy. Whatever people want to look at, they want to look at. But if it had been my first show, I probably would have been a little bit crestfallen to be, right across from something that was such an eye grabber. But I was like, whatever. I'm just happy to be here and hang out with people that I wanted to meet. So it was cool.
Yeah. Jason runs the YouTube page JK Brickworks, and he is fairly famous. They have 2.4 million subscribers.
Yes.
So that doesn't surprise me that he had a huge crowd around him the whole time, because he has a lot of automation or a lot of autonomy type stuff.
I didn't know his handle though. I just knew him as this husband and wife team that were chit chatting with me as I'm putting the mosaic together. And to me, they're just two more exhibitors. Yeah. And I get a message on Instagram from one of my Atlanta people saying, "Hey, have you chatted with JK
Brickworks?" Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, I don't know, what are their real names, because people don't necessarily have. I don't know what their screen names are. And he goes, the guy with the motion. I was like, oh yeah, they're directly next to me. I know. Yeah. And he goes, oh, I'm friends with them. And so I'm like, wait, a friend of mine in Atlanta who's never been to Canada, he's talking about how awesome they are. So
Who was that?
it was
Mark or
no, not someone that if you've ever come to our show, he has an assist dog.
okay.
His name's Evan, and
Okay.
he had a health crisis. I guess I probably shouldn't say on air,
Yeah. Well,
but
yeah.
he has an assist dog,
Yeah.
and his mom often comes to our shows as well. So she's,
Gotcha.
but
Okay.
yeah, he was just talking them up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, they're right next to me.
Yeah. The reason why I ask is Jason came out to the original Brick
Okay,
Fests that happened in the early 2000s as well. So, I mean, he's been in the hobby for as long or longer than I have, type thing. So, Adrian Drake brought his Land Rover, which I had never seen before. It was in Chicago this year, but I hadn't had a chance to see it. And he also built the Phineas and Ferb characters in front of it. So yeah, so much to see. Some guy brought this big castle. That was, a big castle.
boy, that must have been a pain about
Some
this setup.
big space layout. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Oh yeah, and there's Etienne's or the K-Lug Group's two mosaics. The front, this Fairmont hotel, Frontenac Hotel, was absolutely gorgeous as a mosaic. It was beautiful.
That
Uh,
looked nice standing up.
yeah. And then we're kind of looping in through other pictures here, or we've looped completely. No, we're just looping through other pictures. Anyways, okay, we're going to stop that for now, just because there's so much other stuff to talk about. And we'll just jump into the news, because lots going on. Axel, to answer your question about Sinterklaas and my shoe out. No, we don't do that, or I don't do that, at least, because Dutch Christmas is coming up, December 6th, as I recall. And yeah, we just never did that. We celebrated Christmas around Christmas time, or we did presents around Christmas time. So, although I should start doing presents earlier, because then I can do it twice.
There's a Dutch Christmas.
Yeah, December 6th. This feast of
Okay.
the feast of Santa Claus, feast of Sinterklaas.
All right.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to separate the religious from the
Secular.
festive thing. You know what I mean? I think I don't really know the reason, but that was always my thought. All right, lots of news, so we're gonna whip through it. Lego ideas. There's like 7 or 8 Lego ideas things, if not more. Springfield Elementary was one of them. This is by Airbricks 95. So really, I didn't want those things popping up. Anyway, so there's that one. Like I said, I'm summarizing these guys today. We also had Deep Rock Galactic Drill Dozer, which is by Jao Gozma. A couple more pictures of it down here. Looks like my screens are all auto reloading, so every time you'll notice the things popping up at the bottom. Princess Bride, that thing, which I've already closed, but apparently it's opening again. Princess Bride from Book to Blockbuster. This one I'd love to see us make it into an idea set. This is by Frogtopia, and the book opens up on the inside, and it's As You Wish. And then on the back side is a couple of the scenes, the castle where one of the duels is happening and stuff. No problem, Jeff. No problem for sharing photos. There's Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour. This is by Mini Brick Productions. Recreates the posters from the tour.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. No, her name was not mentioned at all this weekend at Bricks in the Six because she was in Toronto. Luckily, we were far enough away. This one's for our good friend David Sincere, Polish Falcon Rescue Service helicopter. This is by Bart Eiffel, which is a larger scale helicopter. I thought it was Technic at first, but just based on the Polish rescue whatever the word is I'm trying to say. I can't think of it. The Polar Express, all aboard to the North Pole. This might be a redo by Narrow Gauge Nut. No, it doesn't say it's a repeat that's being entered in. But the Polar Express, Mr. Bean's Suitcase by PDG, 1,000+ pieces. Has basically a couple of his famous vehicles and some of the famous scenes and stuff in it. So that's another one that's hit 10,000. And I think this is the last one, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Dream Bricks. And it's 221B Baker Street. And on the back is a diorama, or basically a bunch of open rooms with scenes from, I would assume, some of the famous books or things he's been in. All right, Lego Ideas. Still on Lego Ideas, just different type of thing. The 2024 review stage winner was announced. So for the first stage, out of 48 submissions, the winning design was a mineral display by DDF72. So it's the first one of the 48. I'm just kind of reading what's in here, and that's all that's in here basically. So it's just a bunch of geodes and things. Lots of trans pieces in here, so when that set comes out, it'll be, might be interesting for some people. The stand itself looks to be brick built as well, so I assume it might come with something like that. My phone is banging lots. What do people?
Maybe Taylor Swift is calling you. You need to talk to her.
No, well, I don't know. No, Taylor Swift doesn't have my number, but not at least for this phone. No, I think it's just Dave Cowde's replied, and my phone was just beeping from Instagram and stuff. Okay. All right, let's continue. Sorry. The beeping distracted me. Also announced this week was the next series of Bricklink Designer Program sets. For Series 6, the finals were revealed. These will start crowdfunding next October, so 2025. They will have the designers have 9 months to refine their final designs before being locked in for pre-production. The final piece counts and prices will be announced as we get closer to the crowdfunding date. So first off is the Off-Road Adventure. The Art Factory, which is kind of modular, but not, because it doesn't actually have any pinholes, and it's a little thinner. Gold Mine Expedition. It's kind of a cool idea. Outlaw Forest Den, of course, because we can't have a Lego a Bricklink Designer Program without a castle. And last, the Sequoia Tree Trail, with the large sequoia trees and a little hut or cabin in the woods. So awesome for those. It's Dave Cowde's. No, it's not Dave Cowde's. Why is it still beeping? Anyway. Oh, because Dave is talking. Dave Cowde's. Stop chatting and join our chat. Anyway, just bugging him. He's not actually watching this, obviously. So, okay. Lego was once again nominated for the 2025 Toy of the Year award. They're in 8 categories. So you can go now to the People's Choice Awards page and cast your vote. It will be announced. The winners will be announced on the Friday, February 28th at the gala in New York City at the New York Toy Fair. So scrolling through quickly, the Batman construction figure and Batpod, the Dungeons and Dragons collectible minifigs made it in. The Dungeons and Dragons the actual set made it in and also the Lego Space Base and Rocket Launch Pad. Educational Toy of the Year is the Technic Earth, Planet Earth and Moon in Orbit. Grown-up Toy of the Year is Jaws, as well as the Polaroid camera. Infant Toddler Toy of the Year is the Duplo 3-in-1 Space Shuttle. Specialty Toy of the Year is a Klutz Lego Gravity Drop Book. Vehicle of the Year, Technic Mercedes AMG F1. Oh, wow, that was quicker than I thought. Lego has also announced their Build to Give initiative for 2024. So if you share any design of a heart that you build online or on the Lego Play app using the hashtag Build to Give, Lego will donate a Lego set to a child in need of play. Up to 1.5 million sets with a total of $15 million will be like that's I guess as high as they go. Select Lego brand stores will also hold activities as well, so keep an eye out for that. So basically, build a heart, post it on Instagram or any of your socials with the hashtag Build to Give, and that will hopefully trigger a set to be given to a child who might not have Lego or might love to get some Lego. Lego Shop has changed the way their discounts work for points. In that they haven't changed the values, but they've basically done it now at checkout. You can actually use your points and create a coupon at that point using your points.
That's much more convenient.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. And it can also be for any dollar value. So, like this person has like it's like it says, $5, 48, 92, 136. The order total is 179. So I don't know why it's giving these odd numbers, but
Which
anyways,
is
you can basically
which is what the register can do at stores now anyway. So they're just basically making it consistent.
consistent. Yeah. Okay.
Online checkout versus the
Yeah.
in-store checkout experience.
Yeah. Yeah. The minimum discount is still $5, but at least you can change it going up and down. And it looks like, I'm guessing you can probably click on the scroll bar to say how much points you want to use as well. So that has been introduced finally. All right. Next up, since Dave K is not here, maybe we'll ignore this, but Brickset had a little article about Star Trek being on the horizon for Lego in the future. Now, obviously, this isn't the case right now. This isn't an announcement or anything, but this is just speculation. But Star Trek's license with one of the other brands of bricks, I think it was Blue Bricks, has ended, which means that there is no licensing right now for Star Trek building products. So, is Lego Star Trek possible? Who knows?
A lot would depend on the Star Wars license. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes there's language like no other space
Or sci-fi
line can
Yeah.
be sold. We see though currently that Lego has both DC and Marvel comics,
Yeah.
which
So
they are
it's
big
possible.
rivals. So it's possible, but it would obviously depend a lot on the Star Wars language.
Yeah, and I mean, we do know. I'm pretty sure the Star Wars language that does exist because Lego Space basically ended its life at that point when Star Wars came out. Now it's not 100% true because Life on Mars came out and stuff like that. They have had space themes, but they have had space stuff in City and Technic and all that stuff, but they haven't had a distinct space theme for quite some time. So yeah, the speculation of that. I mean, same
And
thing kind of happened with Castle and Harry Potter, I think, as well,
space,
or
like
Lord of the Rings.
we've had city space and friend space,
Yeah,
and we've had NASA stuff that's in Creator, but not a standalone space line since Galaxy Squad. We
yeah, yeah.
did get Galaxy Squad.
Well, and we did get Life on Mars and stuff, but wasn't Galaxy Squad still City? No,
No,
maybe not.
no, it
I
was
don't
its
know.
own standalone line with its own
Yeah,
boxing and colors, and it debuted after the Star Wars license was gotten in 1990.
yeah, 99. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure what exactly would happen, but hey, I'd be all for it. I know Dave K would probably be buying Lego sets for the first time, loving to buy Lego sets for like an entire what I'm trying to say, an entire theme of sets. Because I'm assuming he would want to do that. He's always talked about wanting to build his own enterprise, so maybe Lego will beat him to it. Okay, so this weekend is Lego Insiders weekend. It's the weekend before Black Friday, the weekend before American Thanksgiving.
Hide your
Uh,
wallets.
Hide your wallets, yeah. So Lego has revealed the shopping event that will be on the 23rd and 24th of November, which is the weekend. There's a lot of promotions going on. This message will try and recap it. Lego Insiders will have discounts on selected sets. Double Insider points. Spend $50 to earn 650 Lego Inside points. This math doesn't seem right to me. Oh, it's usually $100 for $5 in points. Is it? It's 5% normally, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
So
this is
basically, this is 6.5%.
yeah, this is American too. For us, it's 50 to 500. Anyways, so the double insider points. There is, I have a few articles down the road. I got them in the wrong order. There is a retro record player that is going to be available for a $250 gift of purchase. Or sorry, $250 gift of purchase available for a $250 US spend. There's also a winter holiday train for $170 spend as a gift of purchase. There's a holiday crafting set with purchases $65 or more in City, Dreams, Duplo, Friends, and or Ninjago. And these are stackable from what I know. For insider points in the reward center, there's a Lego Barracuda Seas, basically Black Sea Barracuda, but not. Paul's saying we'll be buying the Christmas sets this weekend, post office and truck. Need to collect more points for some sweet Blacktron in January. Yeah, there's that rumor as well. There's also $1 million or a million Lego Insider Point sweepstakes. 100 points. There's a redeem 100 points for select reward November 23rd to December 2nd, but they don't really say what the reward is. Sweepstakes in the reward center to win all the insider rewards. So you can enter a sweepstakes to win everything that's currently an insider reward. There's an $1,800 insider points for a Christmas ball ornament. So lots of stuff going on there. I know you're starting to wane, Matt, so I'll try and get through quickly. We actually aren't doing too bad. Then, as mentioned, the gift of purchase, there is a record player that's coming out, 310 pieces. It does have a lot of working features. The lid opens at props. I already saw some of the reviews. The record spins using one of those splat gears in the back. The needle moves. Some of the switches move back and forth and stuff.
But the real question is this going to play? Is this going to play before he plugs in, or is this the true vinyl folk music before Dylan plugs in?
Okay.
Is it vintage enough?
Is it vintage enough? It's Lego.
Sorry, it's a music nerd joke. Okay. Let's move forward.
I'll just look at you with a blank face on my
joke fail.
So $250 purchase, US, probably 360-ish Canadian. So yeah, there's that one. There's also the Creator Winter Holiday Train, which you saw a moment ago, $170 purchase, probably in the 250-ish category as well. It doesn't work. No Technic pieces, just the splat gears in the back to spin the record. Just so you know, Axel. So yeah, the Winter Train, which it's just a smaller creator set, so not as interesting necessarily as the record player. It looks like to be a 4 wide. Yeah, it's a 4 wide set as well. And then this crafting set, as mentioned previously, with certain themes, which just looks like a cardboard box with lots of craft type stuff in it. So fun for the little younger kids, and adults who like crafting, I guess, as well. Okay, another thing that was revealed in the past 2 weeks, 5 days ago, was the Lego Space Tic-Tac-Toe GWP, which comes with 12 minifigures. No, 10 minifigures. None of them have air tanks, so stock up in your white and orange air tanks.
Otherwise, your minifigs are going to go.
Well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's an interesting take on tic-tac-toe. I'm going to try and get one of these, or 2 or 3 or 4, because that's a lot of figs. So yeah, it's a lot of minifigs. There's no information about the set or how to get it, but it looks expensive given the amount of minifigures. So it's probably going to have a high price point. But we'll have to see what happens with that. It's obviously not for Black Friday. It's probably going to be it's obviously not for Insider Weekend. Maybe it's a Black Friday thing. Maybe not. Who knows? We don't. There's also some Lego 2024 gifts with purchases for December that have come out. This is from Legoland Malaysia. So there's a ballerina and nutcracker set, and then there's a Lego Christmas picture frame. uh, I've obviously for different price requirements. Looks to be at least in Malaysia from December 6th to 31st. So we're not sure about North America yet. Oh, and sorry, that's for the ballerina Nutcracker, and then it's saying the Christmas picture frame is from December 13th to the 31st. We'll get official details as we get closer for those. Okay, the last gift of purchase is the gift of purchase that comes with the new endurance. I think I said that right. The endurance ship with the Shackleton's lifeboat. Yeah, endurance. Which is a nice little boat, actually, I have to say. For anybody that likes ships, looks pretty cool. 232 pieces will be available free November 29th to December 2nd when you buy this year's Black Friday exclusive, which is the Endurance, which was officially announced the day after our last chat 2 weeks ago. Oh gosh, Matt's losing it. He's going. Do they put gift for purchase pieces on Bricklink so we can get the Orange Spaceman? You've been able to get the Orange Spaceman for a while on Bricks and Pieces, but it's actually end of life now. So if it's gone, it's gone. The Lego tan gift looks like an eyeglass case. Oh, the long tan gift looks like an eyeglass case. Okay. And I was disappointed because PAB is where I spend my Lego money. Yeah, they don't really have a lot of gift for purchases that you can only get with PAB. Anyways, Lego has officially revealed the upcoming Black Friday 2024 set, which is the Endurance, releasing November 29th. Set is 3,011 pieces. Will retail for $269.99 US. With the purchase of the set during Black Friday event, you also get the lifeboat, which we just saw a few moments ago. The promotion will last from November 29th to December 2nd while supplies last. And this was also covered in a live stream that aired later in the day that day, which is weird because why would you bother that? Yes, you have been able to get Orange Spaceman for a while. Lego Art Love has officially been announced as well. I don't really know the historical or where this came from. To me, this is something whenever I see this, I think of New York.
No,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's that from.
It's a very famous sculpture in downtown Philadelphia.
Okay, I was close.
The city of brotherly love.
Okay, well, I've never been there.
I have stood there and taken a picture in front of it. So it's very tempting for me to get this.
Okay, so my apologies for not knowing. This is a Lego art set released in January 1st. 791 pieces will retail for $80 US. But you can pre-order it starting today. The build is based on Robert, Indiana's iconic sculpture, which celebrates the 50th anniversary next year. Doesn't say where the sculpture is, so I don't know.
It's also very 70s.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, Battery Power Bricks, welcome. You're not late. You can always rewatch it later. So it looks pretty cool. It looks fun. Lots of red, which is not a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just saying lots of red. Oh, excuse me.
It's one of those, though, I do look at it and go, I wonder if I could use some of that red I never use and just download the instructions.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's definitely going to be some unique pieces in here, like a lot of the arches, I would say, in green and stuff and blue. But, I mean, those will be available in Bricks and Pieces anyhow. So, yeah, you probably could. So, okay, Lego Botanicals collection has been rebranded. There's also some new Lego Botanical sets that have been announced. So Lego Botanical Collection has been rebranded next year to just Lego Botanicals. And it's been through a lot since the 2020 incarnation in the Lego Icons theme, which is funny because it was an Icons and then it became Botanical Collection and now it's Botanicals. So, you know, that's makes it hard to kind of organize how, or like if people are collecting them, it's like, do you start collecting these as botanicals? Anyways, if you want to say you're complete with all the Lego Botanical Collection, do these count or do the Lego Ideas ones count? Anyway,
it's like some of the UCS ships are not actually labeled UCS and they don't start with the 1-0.
Like the modular sets as well, right? Like not all of them are modulars. Some of them are creator series and stuff like that. Anyway, so
the true collectors know what's what.
Exactly. if it's a big Star Wars ship, it should be collected. So the 4 sets that were announced earlier this week or late last week or whenever they were in the past 2 weeks, were the Pretty Pink Flower Bouquet, 749 pieces, $60 US. The Mini Orchid, 274 pieces and $30 US. The Mini Orchid and the Lucky Bamboo kind of complete a collection of 4 Oriental sets that I think represent each season, if I recall, from what I heard. Lucky Bamboo, 325 pieces, $29.99 US. Then there's a flower arrangement, 1,165 pieces, $109.99 US. If you get a chance, look through some of these some of these pictures, because there are some beautiful new leaf elements. There's recolors on a bunch of stuff. I believe this one here has purple butterflies with no printing on them for one of the flowers. Jane Bricks on YouTube has done a review of the 4 different sets, and he was pretty good at picking out some of the parts as well. I haven't had time really, just because, well, Lego events. Also announced this week was Lego Horizon Adventures Alloy and Varl versus Shellwalker and Sawtooth, which is a Lego or Horizon Adventure set. They teased this earlier this week, or earlier last week. The set's releasing March 1st, 2025, has 768 pieces and retail for a very reasonable $45 US. However, you can pre-order the set starting today. So it's not a huge set, but it has a couple of characters that will probably be wanted and some other interesting stuff. I don't know anything about Horizon Adventures, let alone the Lego version. But it does have a bow that's got like pinholes on the ends for like little flags and stuff, or little feathers, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so if you're interested in Horizon Adventures or Lego Horizon Adventures, that one might interest you. Okay, officially announced yesterday was the Icons Fountain Garden, which is a gorgeous little set. Released in January 1st, 1,302 pieces, retails for $100 US. This is a new addition to the Gardens of the World collection, which features a tiered fountain, an ornate lava boat, libido, whatever. Not libido, lava bido. What is that word, Matt? Can you understand that word?
Lavabo.
Lavabo. I don't know what a lavabo is.
It's
definitely
like
not a libido.
laughable, but lavable.
Oh, okay. But has nothing to do with libido.
I don't think so.
I
think it's when you tie your lava in a bow.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Decorative tile pathways and flowered vines that adorn white columns, pergolas, with red roof tiles. So obviously this is very Spanish Mediterranean style build. From what I've seen, a lot of the items in here are on little square bases, like the bench here. You can pop them out and you put them into other places, so it's kind of configurable how you want it to look. I don't know. I think it's a cool little set. And this kind of follows in line with the Japanese Zen Garden type set that we've had in the past as well. I don't know if they actually give you a link to. No, they don't. I'm not exactly sure if that's the only other set. And last but not least, revealed yesterday as well was the Series 27 collectible minifigs, which a few of these I'm interested in, but most of them I'm kind of like meh. Because
you're such a hater.
I am. I'm a hater. Well, we just went from a space one to a Dungeons and Dragons one, and now we get one that's got a little bit of everything in it, but no space.
It's a costume character's dream.
Although the jetpack racer, I originally thought was a space character, but it isn't. But I could see that being used as a faction. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Paul. Tell me I don't know, but anyways, it's a sink in French, so probably a basin of some sort. So like the fountain, I guess. And probably a Venn is what Axel said. Okay, thank you, boys, gents. So yeah, there's the Boogie Man, Wolfpack Beastmaster, a Steampunk Inventor, Longboarder, Plushy Toy Collector, Telescope Kid, Cupid, Jetpack Racer, Hamster Costume Fan, Crazy Cat Lover, Pterodactyl Costume Fan, and a Pirate Quartermaster. So there's some interesting little. Sorry.
The crazy cat lover comes with way too few cats. That's
Yeah, this is true. But it does come with a ball of yarn, which is new. Axel's like, hey, they made a crazy minifig looking like me, crazy cat lover, but I'm not. But I'm much prettier. Okay. So yeah, there's definitely some interesting animals.
That expression on that head, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get it any bigger. The pictures haven't really come out in good quality yet. So crazy. So like, there's, like I said, a few cool animals. There's the cockatiel here, I think it is. The cat. The little plushy toys are kind of adorable too. There's a wolf, which, I mean, if you couldn't guess, this one probably interests me the most.
Have we ever had a wolf before?
We have never had a wolf. We've had wargs from Lord of the Rings, which were wolf-like, but not wolves. And they were a lot bigger as well. So this is the first real wolf that we'll have. So this one will obviously be a wanted set, a wanted figure in general. The Steampunk Inventor is kind of cool as well. The telescope might come with a new base. The picture quality is really crap, so it's hard to tell, but I think that could be a tripod. So I mean, I'll definitely get a set of them for the wall of figs, but I'm not going to necessarily go out and buy a whole bunch of them. Like I said, I'll probably Wolfpack Beastmaster for sure, but is that sign on the Wolfpack Beastmaster a new castle group? Axel. No, Wolfpack has been around as well since in the 90s, 80s, 90s. Oh, in the 90s, I think it was. It was a faction. They actually just had the Wolfpack. I'm trying to think. Wolfpack is. They had a tourist. I think Wolfpack was in the last in the medieval village as well. They had a Wolfpack guy in there as well. I could be wrong, but I think it was. All right. Only a few more items here, just really quickly. New parts from the endurance set. I don't know if there's obviously the sails are going to be brand new. There's also a British flag, I believe it is, here as well. A new cloth flag. But yeah, all the different sails are kind of interesting because they're not printed, which means that they could have lots of uses for people in the Lego community. I was looking at some of these and thinking that might work out well on my windmill as well. So if the right sail size exists, I'll have to see what the sizes are later. But yeah, there's also new prints. Obviously, the endurance signage and a map of Antarctica. And then some 1x1 rounds that are looking to be warm gold with a black circle printed on them, which are the portholes of the ship. Some recolors as well. This newer curve piece in black. The classic or the space set transparent canopies are now available in black, which is kind of interesting. And then a few other bits and pieces in here as well. Lots of parts for sure. The clear bar that was used as an element for action poses is now available in white.
Yeah, our lug got that as a bulk piece.
In clear though, right? Yeah, we did too. So yeah, lots of new parts in there. We also have well, you know what, we're going to bypass that. We don't need to worry about the Scarab Fan Weekend part things that they did. There's also the January Chinese traditional festival sets that are coming out, and there's been a bunch of interesting parts noticed in here. So I just want to highlight some of them. There's a new clip that is it's got a plate hole or a plate with a it's like 1x1 round basically with an open stud and a clip on the back. There's a new chain segment that's like 2 chains long as well. I'm pretty sure that's a new part. There are dumplings. There's a new snake head and a new helmets, and something over here. I think possibly that wheel, but let's just see if they've actually got the things here. Let's just scroll down. Is it in here or is it not? Oh, new molds. So yeah, the 1x1 with hollow stud and clip on the underside, which we just talked about. Chain, yeah, 3 long with 2 bars and center link. The dumpling, as mentioned. Brick with curved top. So this one was originally thought to not be a new piece, but this piece right here looks to be a 1x1, a 1x1 brick with just a different curve on it. And some people were saying, oh no, it's not, it's this piece here. But when they start doing the math, they realize there's no connection point really for the tail, so it's not possible that that's what it is, even though it could have been. But it looks like a similar curve to that piece. And it's also featured here in a Mario set as well, in the hair. So it is definitely a newer part. New headgear pieces, as mentioned, which would be kind of a cool army builder helmet, I would think. Some fabrics. Oh, the picture in this one was the cape for this guy. It was a new fabric.
No capes.
And then it was,
No capes.
no capes, large capes. And then some recolor.
Did you ever see the Invincibles?
I did, yes.
Where he goes to have a costume made, and the designer's like, "No capes. The superheroes get caught by the capes."
Yep. The door frame, the angled door frame in dark turquoise is new recolor. There's 3 new curve pieces in the reddish orange. The shoulder pads in a different color on that one. Looks like some hair in an orange. And then some new printed pieces as well. So anyways, that narrows that down. So an hour and 11, Matt. You said, oh, we won't have time. Matt's like, I'm exhausted. I'm done. Which I totally understand. Yeah, Chinese Castle Army could be a new faction. Blacktron Mock, please. So just on that note, there is a the list of future sets have come out, and there is a modular spaceship listed under City, I think it was, or Icons. I can't remember. I think it was Icons. And the current rumor has it that it's a redo or a new version of a Blacktron, one of the Blacktron sets. Technically, in the next few days, I would expect to start seeing some of these sets being announced. I'm just going to Instagram for a minute. Is this mine? Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything on Instagram, because that's usually where these set things drop fairly quickly, but they haven't. So I don't see anything new there. Okay. So like I said, we are coming up to Black Friday. I think historically, usually around this time of the year, around late November, early December is when all the set information drops. Might be as late as December 10th or 11th. But.
Yeah, the modular for January 1st usually comes out. The pictures usually come out in December.
And to say the least, it actually has already been leaked.
Is that the real picture?
Well, I think it could be. It had in the corner of the image. It kind of had. It looked like the picture of another modular beside it, like kind of like a box clipping.
Okay.
So again, we'll hold off on that just in case it isn't the real picture. But yeah, I did buy one set when we were at Bricks of the Six. That's kind of hidden right back here. The James Bond Aston Martin. The one I didn't have when I didn't get a while back, and it's the only one of I don't have the Ecto one, and I don't have a few of the other ones. But it's the only one that I really actually wanted because it is still a real car. Not that the Ecto one isn't a real car, but I just felt like I should grab that one. So
it's based on a real car model.
Yeah, and it wasn't too bad of a price. I think I paid $250 US or $250 Canadian for it, and the original retail was about $180. So it's been in production for a bit, but
when the Dirty Picture happened and there was a Speed Champion set, I immediately looked at you to see if you were like, "Ooh, I could steal that."
Well, I already had that one, but yeah, it was a Ford, and it was the Ford Mustang, and people really were down on Ford at that point. And I'm like, I drive one, not a Mustang, but a Ford. That did remind me though, the Dirty Brickster, the $50 Dirty Brickster. Someone came in with a little tiny 6x6 brick built box, and it was almost one of the last things chosen, and it contained the original goat. and it was stolen and moved around pretty quickly, got locked up at the end, and we had introduced a rule this year, which we hadn't used in the past, that the first person that picks normally would be able to exchange whatever they got with someone else in the room that still had an unlocked item. And we changed it this year to be that still had a locked item. So the person that had the goat at the end, who thought they were safe because it was locked, had it stolen from them, and they ended up with a creator tub, which was pretty crappy, to be honest. But it's the name of the game, right? You kind of want to be picked number one in that kind of scenario because you can get what you want, you can get your dreams. The goat sells for over $100 last I checked, Canadian at least. So it definitely was an interesting gift to give. So we had fun. So yeah. So other than lack of organization, was it a good event?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm doing that partly pros and cons. You're only started citing the con. The other pro, I would say pro now, is that no awards other than a sort of like a community spirit award kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's, as I said to somebody else, it's very easy to criticize awards after you've won one. And having won one, I'm okay with not winning more. I mean, like, now that I got one, I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. But like, I do think that it shifts the acknowledgement to tokens. And so folks leave tokens that builds they like, and it's kind of like your vote is you as a builder can bring whatever token you want to hand out. And if somebody gets like 10 tokens, it means like 10 builders were like, I like what you did there.
Yeah.
And so there doesn't have to be a jury, and there doesn't have to be like only one person wins the category. You may build an amazing castle, and then Jeff shows up and you still get tokens, and you might not have won the castle category because Jeff was there, but you still get some love if you're like measuring your love in terms of tokens that people leave at your table.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know if I'm maturing or just as I get older, I kind of like the idea of shifting maybe less from awards and more towards just the tokens being the measuring stick of when other people give you kind of a pat on the back and say like, nice work.
Fair enough. Sorry, I popped up a thing that Axel had written, and I didn't realize there was a part above that. I watched a guy that deals in minifigs. He had a $300 Bionicle Max in Pearl Gold. So $100 for a goat isn't so much. Well, true. But
the funny thing is, I picked up that goat in my hand, and I said, "Oh, does it?" It was sitting on another gift. I was like, "Oh, is this part of it?"
Yeah, that's right. You thought it was part of the gift.
No, that's separate. And I set the goat down.
You set the goat down.
I will say that I opened a bunch of stuff that got stolen from me, so I was pretty lucky in terms of what I chose to open up. Yeah. But even if I'd opened the goat, I would not have walked home with it because it would have been immediately stolen. There was a woman whose name I forget. It was like 4 chairs away, and I think she either opened the goat or she stole the goat first.
Caitlin. Yeah, that was Caitlin.
And she immediately like started taking selfies with the goat because she says, "I'm not going to have this very long, so we have to remember our moment together." And she's like, "Click, click, click, click."
Yeah, totally true. Yeah, the best in class award is a good idea. And I went to Rob in Kalug, or in Parliament, who was the guy who built who helped spearhead the build of the big minifigures. Because he was out there the whole time in the front of the lobby, talking to people, keeping them entertained as they were waiting in line to get in.
Yes.
So
he was there all weekend long. I saw him.
Longer than Matt was. No, I'm just joking, because Matt wasn't feeling well.
No, I went up to rest a couple times.
Yeah, fair enough. So hopefully the penicillin's kicking in and doing whatever it does.
We'll see if I grow a third leg by the time we meet next time.
True, by next week. All right, why don't we call it a night? Because Matt just got home and we're pretty much done talking for the most part. Yes. Oh yeah, we got the tiger too. That's right. So I'm glad I ordered some baby monkeys. I ordered the baby ape, so I didn't order the big ape yet. So now I don't need to because I got one.
And everyone needs metallic vines for some reason. I don't know what, but I'm gonna need metallic vines.
Bill. Sorry, it was Bill. Bill's the shorter of the two, right? I think. because I remember that people were saying he's almost the same height as some of those figs that were built. Anyways, all right. Have a good night, everybody. We will end the stream there, and we will be back next week for another episode. Closer to episode 200, we're going to try and get Axel to join us. Who's coming from us from overseas. He's middle of the night. He might join in for a chat, maybe our 200th, because he's been following us for years. And even though he's not live on every, no, not Axel. Sorry, Axel. Yeah, Axel. Yes, sorry. I'm thinking the right name, right? Or is it Kai? Maybe it's Kai. Sorry, Axel. I might be confused. Anyways, someone had reached out to me, and I can't remember who it was, but because it's the day. But we'll figure that out. I think it was Axel. Anyways, we'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna hit the button now since I've just did that. And we'll talk to you later. He's like, so maybe that wasn't him. Maybe it was Kai. Anyways, talk to you later. Hit the button.